It is very important when we talk about energy and heat and temperature that we know the difference between all of these terms. In everyday speech, we tend to use the word heat to mean temperature, but they mean very, very different things. Remember that temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy or speed of the particles in a substance. Higher temperature means the particles are moving more quickly. Heat is the transfer of energy between two objects. So heat is a transfer of energy, while temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy. So they mean very different things, but there is a relationship. Heat energy flows from high temperature to low temperature. So when you touch something that feels hot, energy is flowing from that hot object to you because your temperature is lower. So heat always flows from high temperature to low temperature. If an object loses heat, we say that it has a negative Q because it lost energy. If an object gains energy, it has a positive Q. Energy was added to the object. When talking about heat and energy transfer, it's often useful to draw a picture that represents the problem that you have. For example, let's say that I am standing next to a campfire. So we need to figure out which way heat is going to flow. Well, what has a higher temperature, me or the fire? Well, the fire has a higher temperature, and I have a lower temperature. Because heat flows from high temperature to low temperature, heat will flow from the fire to me. So that red arrow represents the direction of heat flow. Energy flows from the fire to me. That means because energy is leaving the fire has a negative Q. It's losing energy, and because it's flowing to me, I have a positive Q because I am gaining energy. It is important to note with any energy transfer that the heat will continue to flow until the objects reach thermal equilibrium. So heat will continue to flow between two objects until they reach thermal equilibrium, and that's just a fancy way of saying both objects have the same temperature. For example, if you put something hot in the refrigerator. Maybe you just made a sandwich, you heated it up, you didn't finish eating it, so you put it in the refrigerator to cool down. Eventually, that sandwich will give off heat to the refrigerator until they're both at the same temperature. The sandwich will have the same temperature as the refrigerator. So heat continues to flow until they reach thermal equilibrium. Heat flows from high temperature to low temperature.